This is CNN Breaking News.
All right, the breaking news this morning, major breaking news. Israel says it has launched an unprecedented attack on Iran, targeting the country's nuclear sites and top military leaders, and the operation very much ongoing. The Israel Defense Forces say they used 200 fighter jets, striking more than 100 targets so far across the country. And we just got new reaction from President Trump. We'll have much more on that in just a moment. Video shows explosions at one of the sites in northwest Iran. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the attack struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear program, and they would last, quote, as many days as it takes. Black plumes of smoke rose over Natanz. That's the site of Iran's main nuclear enrichment facility. The country's Atomic Energy Agency says the attack there caused, quote, superficial damage. Iran State TV says the strikes killed several top military leaders and nuclear scientists, including 3 of the most powerful people in the country. The commander of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, the country's highest-ranking military officer, and its former national security chief.
CNN's Kylie Atwood now reporting that the Trump administration is still hoping that nuclear talks with Iran will go ahead as planned this weekend in Amman. That is according to 2 sources familiar with the matter. A U.S. official saying we still intend to have talks Sunday. And just this morning, President
that they would, like the last time, join any protection of the skies over Israel like they did the last time. So people are really not wanting to get more involved, and they're calling for it to actually calm down and for some kind of ceasefire. That looks unlikely. And I think what's really interesting for the United States and for you all to figure out is what is coming out of Israeli reports. Israeli reporters are saying that there seems to be a much higher level of coordination between the United States and Israel than is being said publicly, and that even some of the words, some of the actions, including potentially the so-called meeting that's meant to be happening
Here's what we know so far about these Israeli strikes on Iran.
The entire Air Force is taking part in the operation that saved Israel from annihilation. Everything that can be told about the strike in Iran is coming up next. Israel launched a preemptive strike in Iran, destroying dozens of nuclear facilities and other installations that were attacked, including several senior Iranian figures that included the chief of the staff of the revolutionary.
In Tel Aviv on what is now early morning in Israel. Trey.
Yeah, Trace, good evening. Overnight, Israel launched a series of strikes, according to the IDF, using dozens of fighter jets to target different positions across Iran, not only hitting the country's nuclear program and their ballistic missile supply, but also targeting individual leadership, including the head of the IRGC, Hussein Salami. This is the top military general in all of Iran, and according to Iranian state media, he is dead. There is currently a state of emergency declared across the entirety of Israel as this country braces for an expected Iranian response. I spoke tonight with an Israeli source who discussed what took place earlier in the evening. This source said Israel was able to surprise Iran. Israel managed to hit several targets.